That is the way Republicans believe they have to. Donald just cannot handle the truth on this one, so he just has to take everything and minimize it, mischaracterize it, describe it as something that it wasn't.
Yeah, you know, Lawrence, this is the contagion of the Trump era. The president lies, and then it makes other Republicans lie. The president's lies led to Judge Kavanaugh's toxic performance before the Judiciary Committee last week, where he was really trying to appeal to Trump not to pull his nomination. And then today you see Susan Collins and Jeff Flake saying that that FBI investigation was, quote unquote, very thorough. Well, it was a lot of things, but there's really no human being who believes it was very thorough. We just got like a contagion of lying spreading through the Republican Party, launched by Donald Trump, and others are just following along in his example.
Lisa Graves, I'm wondering, since Jeff Flake was the one who stopped the train and really forced this investigation, I'm wondering if Jeff Flake sees this investigation as an insult to him, because this really is Mitch McConnell making sure that the investigation was literally the least that the FBI could do. It's hard for me to imagine that a senator who had a serious demand would accept a result like this in response to his demand.
Well, it really makes you wonder, because last week I and others were applauding him for saying we needed to have this follow-up investigation, and yet his remarks today indicate that he found this investigation to be thorough, even though it plainly is not. I would be surprised that if Jeff Flake is willing to go along with approving Brett Kavanaugh and letting there be basically an asterisk of illegitimacy for every single decision that Judge Kavanaugh makes if he's confirmed to the U.S. Supreme Court. That's the opposite of what Jeff Flake has said he stands for and what he's looking for in terms of this country healing and of this court being legitimate.
And Ron, the Wall Street Journal op-ed tonight under Brett Kavanaugh's name is going straight at the temperament issue. That's what the whole op-ed is about. There's a lot of blather in there that's irrelevant, but it all comes down to those lines that about this, saying this is who I'm going to be from this point forward. And that is aimed at Jeff Flake, who's one of the Republicans who voiced a real problem with the behavior that he saw from Brett Kavanaugh in the hearing room last week.
Well, that's right, Lawrence. But I think, as your guest said earlier tonight, the problem isn't that appearance before the Judiciary Committee was not who Brett Kavanaugh was. The problem was that it's exactly who Brett Kavanaugh is. And he let his partisanship show. I don't mind him being angry. I understand why he was upset by the circumstance he was in. But on a premeditated statement, he attacked the Democrats. He attacked left-wing groups. He attacked the Clintons. There's just no way that people can get fair justice for the Supreme Court if Brett Kavanaugh is the swing vote on that court.
We just saw in the Brett Kavanaugh's Yale roommate on video, on television, saying that, yes, of course, there were times when he was blacked out drunk. Let's go back to the hearing room to see the way Brett Kavanaugh handled that question and his demeanor in the face of that question.
So you're saying there's never been a case where you drank so much that you didn't remember what happened the night before, or part of what happened?
You're asking about, yeah, blackout. I don't know. Have you?
Could you answer the question, Judge? That's not happened. Is that your answer?
Yeah, and I'm curious if you have.
I have no drinking problem, Judge.
Yeah.
Lisa, it's hard to think of a worse answer.
I don't think you could actually script a worse answer for him, and I think that that's precisely why he's doing this late mea culpa, even though it's not a real apology. If he was really sorry, he would have apologized last Friday or Saturday or Sunday or any day this week. He's only doing it now on the brink of this vote because there's been so much justified criticism at his plain partisanship and his lack of temperament.
And Ron, we all noticed that when he came back from a break, he did apologize to Senator Klobuchar for that particular exchange. And so he was advised that he dug himself such a deep hole in that particular exchange that it needed to be fixed as best it could be, actually, in the hearing room that day.
That's right. I mean, that is the difference, right? We all say things we regret, and in that case, Judge Kavanaugh apologized. What he said at the confirmation hearing, his opening statement, wasn't something he regretted. It's something he did on purpose to rally Republican voters, to rally Donald Trump. And now on the eve of the vote, he may need an extra vote or two. He's willing to write a Wall Street Journal op-ed to get that vote back. That's not an apology. That's not fixing some mistake he made. That's trying to have it both ways, on both being a partisan in the hearing and then just trying to get over that line at the finish line.
Ron Klain and Lisa Graves, who have more experience with Senate confirmation hearings of Supreme Court justices than any two people we could gather here. Thank you both very much for joining us tonight. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Lawrence.
Thank you.
And coming up, one of those rare moments in the United States Senate today.